Hey y'all, today I'm in my happy place. I'm in the kitchen preserving some of the garden's harvest for year-round use. So this is the first year we've grown pumpkins. So I really didn't know what to expect, but I am so excited to have this big baby. She weighs about 40 pounds, so I've been watching her all season, just keeping an eye on her, wondering how big she would get. So I've never tackled preserving something this big at one time, so I'm just gonna jump in and get started. So one of the good things about pumpkins is that it is considered a superfood. It's high in beta carotene, which our body converts to vitamin A. In fact, 1 cup of pumpkin gives you 200% of your required vitamin A each day. So I'm not gonna eat a cup of pumpkin every day, but I will put a half a cup of pumpkin in my breakfast smoothies every day. So I'm anxious to see how many cups of pumpkin I have preserved after we get finished with this. Also, pumpkin's high in vitamin C, it's high in magnesium, and it's a good source of potassium. So a lot of people just trash their pumpkins after Halloween and after the fall festivities, but it is a great source of food. It's a shame to think about how much food just gets thrown away. And if you're not going to preserve it, give it to your chickens if you've got chickens. Give it to your farm animals. So we don't let anything go to waste here on the farm. So since she is so big, I'm just going to cut slices of this. Let me see if I can get this started. And I know those of you that are better with knife skills than I am, you're probably thinking, oh my goodness, that's not the right knife to use. And it may not be, but I've got a bunch more in this drawer that I can get out, so this one might work. Oh yeah, that's the knife. That's the knife to use. So the steps to processing this and preserving it is I'm just going to cut some slices in the pumpkin, and then I'm going to peel it, and I'm going to cut it up into about 1-inch chunks, and then they'll be ready for me to process. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting this and peeling it and getting it chunked up, and then we'll move to the next step. So I don't know what this knife is made for, but it works pretty well for this task at hand. Like I said, y'all don't judge me on my knife skills. What's the main thing is that I don't go to the emergency room today with needing stitches. Oh, look at that. Okay. Good Lord. That is a massive slice of pumpkin. So you boil the pumpkins for 3 minutes. My jars have hot water in it, getting them ready. And my canner has 3 quarts of water in it, getting hot. So this is almost ready. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to jar this up. I found that jiggling the pumpkins like this helped them settle into the jar, and I could get more in each jar. You don't want to push the pumpkins down with a utensil because you can't can pureed squash or pureed pumpkin because the water has to be able to float around the pieces in the jar to preserve them adequately and prevent botulism. Cover the pumpkin with the liquid that you boiled it in, but leave about a ½ inch to 1 inch of head space in the top of the jar. All right, get all the air bubbles out. As always, wipe the rims of your jars off before you put the lids and the rings on there. If you don't clean those rims, you're not going to get a good seal. Now it's time to load the jars into my pressure canner. Y'all follow your canning directions that came with your canner. My canner needs 3 quarts of water, but yours might need more than that, so just follow your directions. Oh, I struggle with this every time. So my canner has been venting like that for a few minutes. Now I'm going to put 10 pounds of pressure on there. The lid by itself is 5, and then I add an extra ring, and that's 10 pounds of pressure. And that little pipe looking thing back there, when the pressure builds up, that will pop up, and that will trigger this to jiggle. See, it's about to pop up. So you know it's at 10 pounds of pressure when it starts jiggling. So I'm going to start my timer for 55 minutes for pint jars, which is what I have in there now. Always follow your recipes and your canning directions to make sure that your product is safe for consumption. This is one thing you can't fly by the seat of your pants. You got to follow directions. Otherwise, you could end up getting botulism in your canned goods. Canner number 1 is done, and canner number 2 is ready for the weight. This weight's a little different. It's 10, 5, and 15. So, I'm going to put the 10 pound on there. Now canner number 2 is up to pressure, and I can start my timer for 55 minutes for my pint jars. Okay guys, so this is one batch of pumpkin. Isn't it beautiful? I love it, it's gorgeous. I still have another batch in the second canner, and I still have half of a pumpkin left to process, so we're gonna have a lot of pumpkin to eat this year. There's something so satisfying about putting up my own produce out of my own garden. It's very therapeutic, and it's just a great use of my time on my day off and when I have some extra time. So if y'all know of any recipes that y'all just love with pumpkin, y'all just need to drop me a comment below, because we're gonna have a lot of pumpkin this year. I'm thinking it's gonna be about 28 pints of pumpkin, which I love. Spice cake with pumpkin in it. I'm gonna have to do a recipe. I'm gonna have to do a video of that recipe because it's fabulous. So this 40-pound pumpkin is probably gonna give me 56 cups of pumpkin. I don't know that I've ever used 56 cups of pumpkin in a year, but I'm gonna be using it this year because we're gonna have it in the pantry. So y'all don't just throw those pumpkins away. If they've still got some life to them, if they haven't completely molded and just fallen apart by the end of the time that you're gonna use them for decoration, use those babies for some food.